So a big welcome back here to Zwartkops International Raceway if you're on our live stream feed. And if you are here at the circuit and you've just joined us, where have you been? You missed out on a whole bunch of action so far here from the round 1 of Extreme Festival's regional championships. Up next, it's DOE Formula V, and we've got a couple of changes to the Formula V for the new year. It's great to see that they are staying up and in control of how things go. A big welcome back again to DOE Quality Parts, Start My Car, First Race, Bridgestone and Techno SA, an automotive parts distributor, for the sponsorship of this coverage for the DOE Formula Vs. They moved to a national challenge category for the first time in their history, and the history goes back 57 years. Formula V have been racing in South Africa for 57 years, one of the longest standing single-seater championships in the world, never mind here in South Africa. There's 23 cars on the grid today, which is going to be really exciting to see, and looking forward to all 23 of them going at it for the first time today. It looks like one has not made it out though for the qualifying and into the first heat. But speaking of qualifying, the structure of qualifying has changed ever so slightly. They do a normal qualifying session, and then on a very similar vein to what Polo Cup do, the top 6 go into the Bridgestone Grid Scramble. Running on Bridgestone tyres now. It's basically the top 6 drivers that either draw lots or balls or take a number out of an envelope. If you watched Formula V's coverage earlier on when they went live on their own page, and you'll see that Lendl Janssen, who was on pole position after qualifying, was only able to draw 3rd place on the grid. It gave an opportunity to both Gert van der Berg, Greg Wilson and Lucian Ramchanda to possibly move up as well. There you go. Some good coverage there for our guys in the turn 8. But of course, Lendl Janssen was fastest, qualifying on a 109.5, but it was the Hills boys who had to draw simultaneously to get that front row locked out. Vaughan Hills on pole position and Peter Hills alongside his dad for Mangaza Racing for the top 2 in this one. Leon Odendaal has just come and put in an incident report. I don't know what incident report he wants to put in there. There was nothing wrong with anybody who got near him. He's talking absolute rubbish, and if the COC can see it, he's talking absolute rubbish. There's nothing about that at all. I don't know what happened there. Leon Odendaal saw things that no one else saw in that entire race for Class B. Right, so we're almost good to go here for DOE Formula V's first race of the day. And as we get ready to go, you can see all 23 cars itching to get into it. And this is, of course, our only 4-wheeled category that represents or resembles the kind of 2-wheeled action you get out of 600cc's or Moto 3. And of course, looking forward to it now as the lights are about to go on and off for race 1 of the DOE. Oh, looks like a problem for one of the cars in the background here. Looking a bit further down that grid, looks like an issue there for one of the marshals having to pull the car to the sideline. Just trying to work out who that might be. 72 by the looks of things. It's, yes, Albertine Pinar having to just be moved out of harm's way and helped out by the recovery vehicle right on the start line. The car seems to have broken, and that's a big pity there for him. So Albertine Pinar now off the circuit. Looks like the marshals are going to just hook that car up and get it completely out of harm's way before we go. Start delay board is up, and the reason being is that car has to be moved completely off the track and, as we said, out of harm's way. So once again, Vaughan Hills, Peter Hills, front row. Lendl Janssen and Gert van der Berg are on the second row of the grid. It is Greg Wilson and Lucian Ramchanda, the top 6 that had to go into the Bridgestone Grid Scramble. And that's how they've lined up after qualifying at the front end on a 109.9, or 109.5, I beg your pardon, for Lendl Janssen. Let's see what he can do now in race conditions. 30-second board is up. Changes to 5 seconds in the fastest 30 seconds of your life. And we're about to go racing. Lights are on. And off. Here we go. Down towards turn 1. Good start coming out of Lendl Janssen. Great one from Gert van der Berg as well. Gert van der Berg moving up into about 4th place. The 10 car coming through there of Lucian Ramchanda as the rest of the pack stream through turn number 1. Onto the brakes into turn 2. It is Hills 1 and 3. And it looks like it's the 11 car of Vaughan Hills who leads things out. Peter Hills has lost out ever so slightly coming out of turn 2. Being swamped there by Lendl Janssen and Gert van der Berg as they came through turn number 1 and 2. Let's see how they sort things out now. Lendl Janssen already trying to go to the front end and around the outside of turn 4. Not a lot of grip out there. Let's see if he's able to make it stick as they go through turn 4. The move was on for the lead. You're watching the 99 car come through there. And And Theo Vermaak is slowly but surely making his way through the second pack of cars, but the pack at the front is heating up big time. It is Janssen who's hit the front, and Peter Hills has snuck through into second. Brandon Hills just behind that. Dennis Gert van der Berg. Van der Berg under a bit of pressure there from Greg Wilson and from Lucian Ramchanda. Those first 6 cars very evenly matched in qualifying. And if we look at the lap times, all of them into the either 9s or 10s around this circuit, which is very fast. First lap of 10 completed. In fact, the first lap of 12, a bigger one for these guys. They do 12 laps of action. 10 car of Ramchanda on the inside of Wilson as they went into turn 2. Is Theo Vermaak. He's right at the back end of the second pack of cars, closing onto the back end of the 92 machine. And looks like Michael Koenig in a bit of problems. Oh yes, he runs to the side and out of harm's way. Something's gone wrong there on Koenig's car. No worries at all though for the top 2. 3 and 4 starting to heat up. 5 and 6 getting even more heated in the battle. The Liqui Moly car there of Lucian Ramchanda under big pressure from Greg Wilson as they head to the top of the hill back towards turn 5. Van der Berg on the inside. Hills gets demoted down 1 position. So dropping by the wayside, Brandon Hills into 4th, into the clutches of Lucian Ramchanda and Greg Wilson. Vaughan Hills now, I beg your pardon, Brandon's a bit further back. It's Vaughan Hills who's up there into the 4th spot ahead of Van der Berg. He was, and now Van der Berg has taken that position away from him and dropped him into the clutches of 2 very, very seasoned campaigners, Lucian Ramchanda and Greg Wilson. Greg Wilson, a multiple champion in this class. Then behind that, they come through. 75 car there of Carl Watt fighting just ahead of him is Theo Vermaak. Then you've got Joseph Kutzer. Watch out for Jean-Andre Leroux, of course, in the second of those Liqui Moly sponsored machines. He's now made his way up into lucky number 13. Watt just behind him and Theo Vermaak just ahead of him. Move on there from Lucian Ramchanda. Looking for a chance now to squeeze through on Vaughan Hills. Can he find it? No, he can't. Very close between the two of them as they go to the top of the hill. Here comes Greg Wilson trying to thread the needle between the 2 of those machines. Hills hangs on. Ramchanda keeps out Wilson. We're running over the curbs there from Ramchanda to do that. Coming up on the inside of Kenwood. Oh, very nearly touched there between the 2 of them. Vaughan Hills nearly getting a tag from the nose cone of Ramchanda. Lionel Janssen leads out the top 3, getting very up close and personal. Second 3 for 4, 5 and 6 as Ramchanda has a go. Going to try and make it numerical order there between those 2 cars that are fighting. He forces Vaughan Hills onto the dirty stuff. 10, 7, 11. They come through there. What a start. Absolutely brilliant. Sean van der Linde once again in the mix as well. He's in 8th place. The fight is on here big time. It's a fantastic little 3-way battle for the lead, 3-way battle for 4, 5 and 6. It's now turned into 2 as we've lost a little bit of ground there. Lionel Janssen going defensive onto that back straightaway, not going to give any room there to play to Peter Hills or to Lucian Ramchanda. It's not Lucian Ramchanda, it's actually Gert van der Berg that they're not picking up on our timing monitor. Van der Berg there in 3rd place. Wilson just ahead of the hard charging Vaughan Hills, looking to try and come back at those 2 cars who put some forceful maneuvers on him. Van der Berg now looking for a chance now to squeeze through. Can he find a way past? No, not just yet. Van der Berg, of course, running the number 1 plate from last year. He was the outgoing champion. He is the reigning champion. And he now leads the charge for the rest of the pack on the top 2. Top 2 at this stage, Lionel Janssen and Peter Hills. But that number 1 car is just waiting to pounce. DOE Quality Parts and Start My Car, of course, the sponsors of the series are also the sponsors of Gert van der Berg. He would love to give them their first victory with a number 1 plate on his car. But it's difficult to find a way through. Ooh, spinner. 1-1-2 there. Marcel Blucknut getting out of shape out of turn 2. Gets back on track. Not too far off where he was. Sean van der Linde trying to close down on Brandon Hills. Henk van der Berg is just behind him. Can Gert do anything about Peter or Wallendal ahead of him? Lennon Janssen just controlling things in the Bull security machine. He's not been able to find a way to get away from these two, but he's certainly keeping them at bay for now. Oh, Spinner, the 27 car. It's a bit of a pity there for him. Jean-Ray Leroux come from the back of the field and he's now spun out. Looks like he might have beached himself up at turn 5. So we'll just keep an eye out on the possibility of a safety car. If that car is in harm's way, they may need to deploy the safety car, which means Lennon Janssen will assume the position of the safety car until they can get the official one out on track, if that's going to be the case. Let's see what the marshals can do about getting the second of the Liqui Moly machines out of direct target line of the cars heading towards turn 5, and that's where our leaders are heading right now. Double yellows into turn 5. Just warn those drivers. Oh, there's a move from Greg Wilson. Hopefully he saw those double yellows. He did. He tucks in behind Lushan Ramchundra just to give up that overtaking opportunity that he set himself up for because of that second Liqui Moly car stricken in the kiddie litter. And it looks like there's yellow flags down. Oh, in fact, yeah, safety car's out. Yellow flags down into turn 8 would possibly mean the safety car board. I just saw that very bright yellow board on the last shot. And yeah, safety car has been deployed with 6 to go. Safety car had to be deployed, yeah, unfortunately. There was no way that there was going to be enough time for the marshals to get that stricken Formula V out of harm's way. So Pretoria Noord Toyota 86 there from Pretoria Noord, our official pace car for the Arena of Motorsport. Now lead Lennon Janssen, Peter Hills, Lushan Ramchundra. It's saying Lushan, but they're not picking up on the timing monitor. Gert van den Berg. Van den Berg is still there in 3rd place, ahead of Ramchundra, Wilson and Vaughan Hills. Maybe now under safety car they'll get a chance to rectify that on the timing system. But you can see that number 1 car is certainly there in 3rd place, just ahead of Ramchundra, Greg Wilson, Vaughan Hills, Brandon Hills, Sean van der Linde. The 30 car is Henk van den Berg. Then it's Roy Douglas and Josef Kotze. Kyle Watt, Theo Vermaak, Yannick Keiser, Marcel Bluchnout having returned to the circuit now ahead of Clinton Kane. Michael Koenig is back on track as well. Lane de Melon and Cyril Somerville ahead of Haldo Gouveia, first time out. And Cyril Somerville and Haldo Gouveia, of course, making their rookie entrance to Formula V's for this outing. So a big welcome to them. To the big family of Formula V. It's great to have them as rookies for this year. Let's see how long it's going to take to get that car. Well, lights are out. Just spoke too soon. The lights are already out on that Toyota 86. I think it's actually caught Lennon Janssen out there. He was expecting to go one more lap, and then they pulled the safety car in rapidly. So it's back to race action. Green flags and no overtaking until you cross that finish line. But now it's into the thick of it now for what is going to be another 5 laps of race action here for DOE Formula V's. 53 pushing hard. It's Roy Douglas. He wants to now hopefully use the concertina effect that's happened behind the safety car to good effect. And hopefully find a way past. Sean van der Linde now looking to try and close things down as he goes up into turn 3. He was not able to run with the same kind of pace as Brandon and Vaughan Hills in the Mangaza racing cars. Peter Hills is under massive pressure. Look at this. The number 1 car, Gert van den Berg, DOE and Start My Car, all over that Mangaza racing machine of Peter Hills. And he's got some company of Lushan Ramchundra coming along for the ride as well. Ramchundra going to try and go with the open door that Peter Hills is trying to give him. Hills opened the door but then slammed it shut in Gert van den Berg's face. He's not going to allow that second place to be given up without a fight, and Ramchundra's up for it. So is Van den Berg, and so is Wilson. 4 cars fighting for second. Oh, big look in the rearview mirror there. Just making sure the gap is decent enough before he climbs on the brakes into turn 8. 4 to go. Lennon Janssen has been given an opportunity here to get away due to the fact that Hills has gone on the defensive. Peter Hills has gone big time on the defensive to keep out. Gert van den Berg has to go into turn 2. Late braking from Van den Berg, and he's up into second. Runs wide slightly, but there's enough room out there for him to play, and he gets up into second place and cements it. Hills into third. Fourth place, Ramchundra now looking to maybe pounce. Catch out the man who's just been shown the way into turn 3 by the number 1 car. Kat van der Berg now leads up. Ooh, coming up on a backmarker. Very slow backmarker in the middle of the corner of turn 4. As they go up to the top of the hill now, here's a move. Hills goes defensive to keep out Ramchundra. Van der Berg went on the attack almost instantaneously at the first opportunity he was given to get through on the leader, Lennell Jansen. Lennell Jansen is having to defend now big time. He's not going to make it an easy day here for the 91 car. Is the number 1 car. And the champion is looking to take the first victory of the season if he can. Start his campaign to retain the number 1 plate for 2022 with a victory. But he's got to get through on Lennell Jansen in the Bull Security Services car. What a bit of race action here from these 5-6 cars. Exactly what we expected. I told you it was going to be Moto 3-esque. These Formula V's always put on a superbike style race. Oh, slow car out of turn 1. Spun out of turn number 1. They got back on going. Look at that. Lennell Jansen straight to the inside of the circuit. Defensive driving. Here's Ramchundra. Ramchundra up to 3rd place. He's got through on Hills. Ramchundra's up to 3rd. Hills going to come back at him. And here comes Greg Wilson. Wilson going on the attack as well. Trying to catch Peter Hills out as they go to the top of the hill. Hills is late on the break. Wilson is good too, but he's got just not enough room to squeeze through there on Peter Hills. Hills, a multiple champion in this class, remember, knows exactly how to place that car. So is Wilson. And Lucian Ramchundra has just been gifted an opportunity for 3rd place. The battle for 4th is now on. It's giving Ramchundra a chance to close down on the top 2. 10 laps down, 2 to go. 2 more laps of this action to come your way. Here is Greg Wilson now on the inside of Peter Hills into turn 1 and makes it also 4th place in his hands. He's ticked them off one by one, but he's now losing a little bit of ground there to the man he was with earlier on there, Lucian Ramchundra. Peter Hills drops back into the clutches of his teammate and family member, of course. The Hills boys are now sitting in 5th, 6th and 7th place respectively. Further back there's some nice little fights there. 13 car fighting of course with Michael Koenig. Little battles as well as they come through, waiting for those fights to be sorted out as well. Recovered the 27 cars back on track, so they didn't have to make him go back in the pit lane. Koenig, of course, spends a lot of time in single-seaters in various championships around the country. Leaders now. Oh, it's a lead change. Van der Berg's hit the front. Gert van der Berg has hit the front with a lap to go. Is this enough? Will Lennell Jansen try and come back at him? He's going to go into turn 1 on the inside. Oh, it's very close. Side by side between these 2 cars as they go towards turn 2. Gert van der Berg has got the inside line. Ramchundra is going to try and go with him and squeeze out Lennell Jansen. Jansen sees him coming, gives him a little bit of room to play. Touch of wheels! Oh, a touch of wheels there and some gesticulations. You can see Lennell Jansen wasn't happy about that. Lucian Ramchundra touching wheels out of turn 2. That usually ends up in tears with single-seaters, particularly when you've got open wheels like these cars have got. Lennell Jansen not happy about that. Big gesticulations from that man out of the car. They're up towards turn 5 again, trying to close down now on the champion. Will Gert van der Berg take his first victory of the season with that number 1 plate on his car and start the season off with the victory? Jansen is going to go defensive on Ramchundra. Ramchundra is doing the same thing there to Wilson. 4 cars, any 4 can win. Any one of the 4, I should say, could win. Here they come down towards the final corner for the last time in anger. What a Formula V race to kick things off for 2022. 57 years of racing, and every single year it gets better and better. Another victory, and what a start to the season there for the reigning champion. The number 1 car wins out for the first time in 2022. What a way to kick things off here for Formula V's. That is the way we like to do it. Gert van der Berg taking the victory. Some more action still to come your way, and yep, big time into turn 1. Yannick Geyser being shown the way into turn 1 there by the 53 car of Roy Douglas. They come to the line and just finishing off. A little look over the shoulder there from Roy Douglas, saying that's not how we do it. Theo Vermaak with a big thumbs up as he crosses the line. But let's have a quick squiz at how they finish up. Formula V's at their best. The results are wrong, so we're not going to put them up. But to confirm, it was Kat van der Berg to take the win over Lennel Janssen. Ramchandra in third, Wilson in fourth, Peter Hills and Vaughan Hills, your top 6.